Hey guys, welcome back to Aaron in the audience. It has been a very long time since I posted any content. For those of you who don't know, I am currently studying at uni and it was exam time. There was a lot of assessments, group projects and stuff. So I thought this would be the easiest thing to put in the back burner. But now it's summer and I've got a bit more time and yeah, let's get back to posting some content.
You are here at the start of a moment, on the edge of the world, where the river meets the sea.
So first up, I am back with a video about my recent trip. I decided to go on a 24-hour round trip to London. For those of you who don't know, I am from Edinburgh in Scotland, so it involved travelling to another country, and it's an average time of about 5 hours each way to get there. So I left Edinburgh at 7:30 in the morning and returned home at 7:30 a.m. the next again day, and in that time I seen 2 shows, which was the reason I was going down. Me being me, I was like, let's be extra, not let the fact that other people couldn't come stop me from going. So yeah, I travelled down on the train, got into King's Cross at around 12 p.m, grabbed some lunch and then went to my first show. So my first show was Everybody's Talking About Jamie. This is a show I've actually seen in the cinema. They done a live broadcast in cinemas last year, and I fell in love with the story, I fell in love with the music. So as I was going down, I'd seen quite a lot of what else is on in the West End, so I decided to go and see that in person. It was a different cast from the broadcast, which was nice. It was a slightly different take on the characters, so I got to see something new. So I don't know if any of you guys have heard of the show, but it follows a character, 16 years old, called Jamie New, and he is an aspiring drag queen. At the beginning of the story, we see that sort of no one knows, not even his best friend. His mum knows, and his mum's his biggest supporter. So we see on his birthday, he gets his first pair of heels, and this sort of pushes the story into emotions. So the story itself follows him and how he wants to, how do I word this? The plot of the story is centralized around the fact that he wants to go to his high school prom in drag. So a lot of the plot points that come off from that are how his peers react, how his family reacts, how his best friends react, and then how the bullies at the school react to that news as well. And we see him go on a huge journey of self-discovery, finding out more about himself, about his family, sort of why his dad's not been in touch, and sort of relationships that spawn from that. Yeah, the music is super fun, super catchy. I'll put a video in here as well of the curtain call, which you're allowed to record, which will give you a vibe of sort of the show. Yeah, me personally, I connected with the show a lot, and I think that's why I wanted to go and see it live. I think anyone who struggled with their sexuality while at high school, were bullied, sort of didn't conform to the mainstream ideology. So yeah, the story resonated well with me because he had to deal with people who objected to the way he wanted to live his life, from the type of person it was, and it was about how he overcame those obstacles and evolved into a better, well-rounded person. So if you haven't seen the show, it is on in the cinemas again for encore performances over the summer, and it is got an indefinite run on the West End at the moment as well, so I'd recommend it. It's super easy to get tickets. after that show, I went to see the show I travelled for. I fell in love with the soundtrack from the moment I listened to it. It is an emotional rollercoaster of a soundtrack. The story, again, is based on a true story, and that is the musical Come From Away. Hashtag repping the t-shirt. This story follows the inhabitants of a town called Gander in Newfoundland over the course of the events of the 9/11 attacks in New York. You learn very early on that 38 flights were diverted to Gander as they closed the US airspace. So that equated to around 7,000 people, which almost doubled the population of the town itself. And the story follows how the town reacted, opened its doors, and how the people who were diverted there, how their lives were affected by not only the events of 9/11, but being welcomed into this town by the locals. The musical itself has a very small cast of around 16 people, and everyone in the cast plays multiple characters. So not only do they play townsfolk, they play people who have been diverted there, and characters in between, which may sound confusing, but when you see how it's done on stage, how it's directed, how the choreography works, how the music works, I would say there was no point in the show that I didn't know what was going on in terms of the way the characters were interacting with each other, just with the use of slight costume changes, accent changes. Just like the soundtrack, the show itself is an emotional roller coaster, and you don't get left too much time to be happy and laugh or sad and cry. Just as quickly as something happens, they move on. It is 100 minutes in length. There's no interval, so it is right through and follows the story over about 5 days, and then right at the end you come back 10 years later. So there is no time really to stick in one area of the show. That show, I think, has resonated with me more than any other show that I've seen. I think it's instantly become one of my favourite musicals that I've seen on stage, for the simple reason that it is about human connection at its finest. It is not a fictionalised story. It's based on real people, how they reacted in these times, and the story that we follow is sort of blossomed out of that. So there's something very real and very raw, and I think a lot of people were affected one way or another with 9/11. You can't not connect, you can't not find something to resonate with, because there is so much going on in this show, and the way that people react, how it affects relationships, the way this is shown in the shoulders. We follow two separate couples. One couple who arrived in Gander together as a gay couple, and one couple who met on the flight. And throughout the story, we weave in and out of these stories and see how what has happened affects them. And in the end, we see that one couple have broken up and moved on, and the couple that met on the flight and in this town eventually got married. And I think it goes well to resonate with a larger image that even in the face of all the tragedy that was 9/11, or any attack, or any event that influences someone's life in a negative way, that love can blossom, happiness can blossom from that. And I think that's what the show is really about, that no matter what happens, something great can spawn from it. I have mumbled on. I hope you got some. I will put some photos, some videos, some clips from music interleaded through this video as well. So I hope you've enjoyed. If these are two new shows to you, please listen to the soundtracks. Please watch performances on YouTube. There's plenty out there. Come From Away just won the Olivier for Best New Musical. They performed at the Olivier Awards. Everyone's talking about Jamie. There's clips from their cinema footage, and please try to go to the cinema and see it if you can. Yes, so I am back. I will hopefully be posting more content. I don't know what you guys would like to see, but if there's anything that you want me to do, any films upcoming that you want me to review, or any types of videos, whether it be comparison videos, top 10 videos, I'm open. So please, please, please give me your suggestions down below. And yeah, thank you for watching.